Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. We have a new piece of equipment that is on the farm and we are going to compare the new one to the old one while we have them both here yet. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the video, but let's get into it and look over the new Discbine here. So Dad, what do we have here for a new model and what is our old model?
S300 and the 630 Mower. They're pretty much the same machines.
And year, that's a 2015?
I think we looked it up, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a 15. Actually, all the cutters I had that one the longest, you know, far. That's built very, it weighs a lot more than everything else I used to mow with too.
Yeah, and this is brand new.
I cut like 2 acres with it so far. They brought it on the day we finished second crop. I come off the hill with the baler and they were in the yard with the new one. I'm like, okay, I finished 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, and you had this one ordered already almost a year ago, probably. Huh?
Well, Mother and I, we purchased this back in September. So then, because we wanted steel rolls and then some of this different style hitch setup we were thinking about getting involved in. So then it's kind of a special order in a way, because they typically, these 10-foots, they don't stock too much of this around here anymore. Then they were going to order them in with a lot of other cutters, so they figured they'd have them all in by March. And here we are in end of July. And it's okay, because the older one was working fine. It's just the idea that we kind of wanted to do some trading up while everything is good. You know, once things start breaking, you got to fix them. You don't sell machines that aren't right. So this here, I don't even know what they call this style setup. But the drive line stays straight. It swivels in here. You got 2 gearboxes here. She slips onto the drawbar. So this device gets fitted to your drawbar, which both our Johnnies, all 3 of our Johnnies got that same. I think even for the 10, it would just be a couple of these. You just have to wheel that out a little, maybe a little wider drawbar, and there's some shims there. It's pretty basic to fit it. I was a little concerned about that because it kind of limits. It's a little tricky to get it on a different tractor than if it's different. So yeah, so then you can pretty much turn it. I mean, like probably twice as sharp. I mean, this is a very crooked farm. A lot of unevenness is where the tractor's going this way on the side hill and the Discbine is still on that side over these knobs and stuff. So that gets to put a lot of strain on everything.
Yeah, even just moving it in the yard here to get it staged next to the old one, it's noticeable. You can really swing
you can
it
use
around.
your swing hydraulics to really maneuver it around equipment, like getting it in and out of the shed or something.
The best way I can describe it is it's almost like an articulate tractor, but this is your pivot point in the center here.
So this is 1000 PTO. That one was 540. I don't know, they must feel you get better power transfer with 1000 RPM. One thing I was a little concerned about when I hooked it up, your drawbar is supposed to be set at 16 inches. You know, your pull from the end of the PTO shaft when it's 1014 for 540. And anyway, in this type of setup, I don't think it makes any difference. There's plenty of room here for it to go if it's got to get through a dip or something. So that there, so I don't have to move my drawbars, you know, because that's just another step you got to take in case you need to use a different tractor for whatever reason. So,
yeah, so for the chopper now,
chopper you have to.
but I'm talking for switching back and forth. Say we had to use this tractor for chopper because we'd have 1000 PTO already, and then drawbar length, could we leave it?
No. What we did when we had to switch it, because we have a extension on for our larger chopper on the drawbar. So if let's say we had tractor trouble, you take your whole drawbar out instead of wrenching that piece off of there, because the drawbars are all the same on all 3 of our Johnnies anyway. But if we went to the Magnum, well, then we'd have to, well, your Magnum's got 2 shafts, so this would just go in the other shaft and that sticks out further. So that's all, you know, that's the thing with all this stuff. As soon as you switch, you got, you know, your one area is better, but then you got some other things. But it's maybe minor. Once we get used to it and we know just what to do, it's all pretty quick and simple, as long as we got options.
And then hydraulics, you have the same amount of hydraulics, or you got an extra option there?
Extra double one here, and we'll get back to show what that does. So then you got your widening and narrowing. So when we're opening up a field, starting a field, typically I like to cut the back cut first. There might be some ditch or along a fence, or so then you're on your hydraulics and you're watching that corner, and you're getting as close to your fence or woods or whatever as you can without too close. So then you're using hydraulics to pull it in and push it back out instead of trying to steer your tractor just perfect. And then once you got that opened up, usually you can see your ground underneath the cutting, and you turn the machine around, and then you just go from there. And then you got your up and down, which is just single action, so it's pretty much just lifting and gravity puts it down. So that's kind of how this end of it is. Otherwise, I think pretty much from here back, it's the same gearbox, same slip clutch stuff, same. I mean, there ain't a lot to look at here. The pods are the same. You know, they do got something a little different.
Oh, it's like the quick.
Yeah,
change.
there's a like a leverage bar they send you that you can stick in here, and I think this piece is spring loaded, so I don't know if you're prying that down or up or however, but you can pull this out. It's the same knife. Instead of wrenching, the other one I had to take this all apart, which wasn't terrible. We didn't go through knives. We don't have rocks, and I'm really good about keeping the sticks and brush. Like I kind of walk the edges of the field in the spring, and you kind of make sure that the trees are cut back. And then this one's got steel rolls. I think that might be a bigger reason why this one was held up in production, because I don't think in this smaller Discbines it's very common for anybody to special order something like that. And the steel rolls for drying hay, now they're a little dirty now because I did cut a little bit of straw with it, so it ended up a little bit, that's always a little not so clean, but yeah, they'll crimp better for making dry hay. They claim they can be a little more aggressive on the alfalfas and stuff, but frankly I would rather have dry hay and not get too worried about all the leaves and all these type of things, because if it ain't dry, it's not going to keep anyway. So first of all, get it dry. And
so essentially the metal rolls or the steel rolls are going to crimp your stem better than a rubber roll.
Yeah, rubber roll's more gentle. It'll still crimp, but it's just, and then they got flails. I haven't had any experience with them. It seems like it's kind of a toss-up, but I think what's happening today is most of the guys doing hay or larger dairies or even smaller dairies they're just putting it into baleage or into some sort of silage form. They're not going for the dry hay. Now some of the beef guys, you're gonna want big round bales because of the way you feed your animals besides, and getting dry hay is going to be a more economical way to have your hay and say and it'll keep you once it's under a roof. This stuff under plastic is hail, raccoons. Just time, the plastics are always vulnerable. We did that, and it wasn't that much more money. It's just the idea that they didn't just come standard that way, so you ordered them. So the other one's got the rubber rolls, and they're in good shape. Like I said, we have no rocks, and there's very little debris where it would bang it up. And every fall, I always pressure wash this all out, and I would dump oil on all this, maybe run it just briefly to get that oil to splatter around, and keep everything so that you're not fighting the bolts and everything afterwards. That oil soaks in over winter, and I do that with a lot of my machines. We really try to preserve them.
Some slight cosmetic differences, like this plastic is shaped a little different. I'm guessing they got it set this way so that it sheds seeds a bit better than that style.
Right. I think it's just, and I think when they offset the stuff, it just makes it more rigid. When you have it's like grooves in the piece of sheet metal versus a flat piece.
Yeah, less likely to crack.
Yeah, and I think that was just what you said. Then the weed or the grass seeds would just trickle off.
It does look like this is flimsier though than
a little bit lighter
than the tarp on that one.
The only reason I think they put this on is if you had stones and things like that, and it could fly out of there and hit the cab or the operator if you didn't have a cab. And that's just it's a heavier. That's more of a, almost like a.
Yeah, it's a bigger tarp.
Almost like a cow mat.
Yeah.
Versus just a piece of whatever, but that's pretty minor. Yeah. So otherwise, everything's the same. As far as I could tell, did get it with. They got a cylinder here for the tilt. Now, what the tilt does is it puts the header so it tips the header like this or like this. So that's how you adjust your height. There is shoes underneath that there's pins in, And then you got your tilt with your cylinder, and there's a little gauge here that shows me in the cab, and hydraulically I can set that. The other one has a turnbuckle, and you can probably, I did some measuring. This here device would fit on that one, so I'm sure it's an option you could order.
Yeah.
That, and then here's that big wrench. It's just put on here with a safety key. It's like a big pry bar, really. You go up underneath and you just, so you can use that and just insert your knife, you know, if you needed to switch it out.
Tires, they're the same size.
Yeah, we go with the big wheels because of the hillsides, the sticks to the hillsides, and that one's been good. On all the cutters I have, that one's hung to the hills the best. I think the weight alone helps keep it up there. If they're too light and you got too skinny of a wheels, it slides. Yeah, and as far as this one, I mean, everything's been pretty good. I did have to do a little hydraulic connection. We ended up with a couple leaks here through the years, but it's pretty minor stuff. We just took them to our local auto store and they patched them up. That's just from simple wear and tear there. Everything's been good on this one. The knife's been switched out roughly every year, and I mean, you could show the rolls under there. There's not even a nick in them.
Yeah, no T-posts got shoved through them or tree branches. They're in pretty good shape. The pods up front are in really good shape. The knives,
well, they could cut. We were cutting all our second crop with them. I did turn them around before I started that, so yep. You know, but that's very cheap. Knives are just nothing.
Yeah, and that's a little different style. You got to unbolt it, but it's
the same knife.
Yep.
Yeah,
So really common.
I think it's like 11/16 socket. I just got one for the impact wrench.
Yeah. And tires, that's the same size as the other one, and they're in good condition.
I mean, that's the thing. So this is for sale, and Aaron will have your contact stuff for that. That's his.
Well, the nice thing about this, buying a John Deere or a Moco like this is, you know, we got almost a decade difference between the two of them and a lot of similar parts, so it's not gone out of style yet. You know, that's always an issue buying used or older equipment, is worrying about parts or service or usability, and that's not going to be an issue for anybody that wants to run
this. They haven't changed it because it's been working.
Yeah.
So typically it's kind of like every time they change a model, they may have some weak points in there, and then you always look and say, well, they improved.
Yeah, don't fix what ain't broke. That's a good way.
And sometimes it's the opposite. They got something good and they change it just to have a new something, and then you're like, well, that old one was better. So yeah, and then your height adjustment here is just, and I don't know, like when I cut straw, I put it higher, you know, because you don't want to, you know, you got to feel the fresh tillage done in the spring, and then if we get a drier time, you put it lower, because, well, the ground is hard. It's not going to scalp as much.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, the thing's been good.
Well, anyways, there's a side-by-side comparison of the two. The big differences is the 540 PTO and then the hitch and gearbox setup in the front. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Leave your comments down below, and we will see you all next time.